Hello children, welcome to Standard 8 ICSE Biology class. In the previous class, we have discussed about the chapter Transportation of Materials in Plants. Today, let's summarize the same topic. Water is an essential raw material required by the plants for its growth and survival. It also acts as a medium for absorption of essential minerals from the soil. It helps in the transport of various substances within the plant body, including the manufactured food. Water and minerals are taken up by the roots to be transported to the stems and leaves. Physiological processes such as transpiration and photosynthesis carried out by the plants are directly associated with the transport of water. The special conducting tissues in plants, namely the xylem and phloem, which are collectively called the vascular bundles, helps in transporting water, minerals and manufactured food to all parts of the plant. The movement of substances from one part of the plant to another through conducting or vascular tissues of plants is called transportation. Roots have an outermost single layer of epidermal cells, some of which extend into unicellular outgrowths called root hairs. Root hairs have various characteristics like large surface area, higher concentration of the cell sap, and thin membranes. These features facilitate the rate of water absorption from the soil. The epidermis of the root is followed by the multi-layered cortex composed of thin-walled, loosely packed parenchymatous cells. There is a single layer of endodermis inner to the cortex followed by a layer of pericycle. The central region of the root has xylem and phloem arranged in separate patches, which together are called the vascular bundles. The conducting tissues in plants are the xylem and phloem. They are bundled together to form a continuous system of tube-like channels extending throughout the roots, shoots, and the leaves. Xylem helps in the conduction of water and minerals only in one direction, whereas phloem helps in transport of manufactured food from leaves to both the directions, that is, upward and downward. The upward movement of water and dissolved minerals from roots to aerial parts of the plant through xylem is called ascent of sap. Whereas the process by which organic food materials is transported through phloem from the place of synthesis to the different storage organs of a plant is called translocation. In xylem, transport of substances is unidirectional and it is made up of cells like vessels, tracheids, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. They help in giving mechanical support to the plant and also help in conduction. The older xylem does not participate in the transport of water and forms the wood for commercial importance. Transport of substances through phloem is bidirectional and it is made up of elements like sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. These cells also help in conduction, storage and give support to the plants. Materials can be absorbed and transported across the membranes of the plant by the following ways. They are diffusion, osmosis and active transport. Diffusion is the movement of molecules of solids, liquids and gases from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration until the concentration in both regions is uniform. Osmosis is the movement of water or solvent molecules from a region of its higher concentration to a region of its lower concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. A semi-permeable membrane is one that allows the passage of water or solvent molecules but prevents the entry of solute molecules. Active transport is the movement of molecules or ions from a region of their lower concentration to a region of their higher concentration, that is, against the concentration gradient. So, what do you mean by concentration gradient? Concentration gradients is the difference in concentration of solute in a solution between two regions. Usually, when two solutions of different concentration are separated, the solute moves from where it is more to where it is less. In case of active transport, it moves in the opposite direction, that is, from where it is less to where it is more. That is why we say against the concentration gradient. Now, let's understand the pathway of water absorbed by the roots. The thin film of water around the soil particles in the soil space is readily available to the plants for absorption. As its concentration is higher than water present in the adjacent root hair cells, the root hairs absorbs this water by osmosis. When water enters the root hair, its concentration becomes higher in the root cells compared to the adjacent cells of the root cortex. This difference in concentration of water helps it to move from root hair into the cortex by osmosis. This continuous cell-to-cell movement of water in root cells creates a pressure in the root and which helps in transporting or pushing the water into the xylem cells, and this pressure created in the root is called root pressure. It is one of the forces which is responsible for ascent of sap. From xylem, water is then transported up into the stems, branches, leaves. You know that minerals are naturally occurring substances that are essential for vital metabolic processes and for the proper growth and development of plants. The mineral required by the plants can be categorized into two. They are the macronutrients and the micronutrients. Macronutrients are the minerals which are required in large quantities in the plant body are called macronutrients. Example are NPK salts, which are the most important nutrients for the plants. They are the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium salts. Other than that, there are other macronutrients essential for the proper functioning of the plant. Example is magnesium, which is essential for chlorophyll formation. Micronutrients are the nutrients which are required only in minute quantities in the plants. They include iron, zinc, manganese, etc. Lack of minerals can lead to deficiency symptoms in plants. Transpiration is the process of loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Transpiration mainly occurs in three ways in the plants. They are through stomata, through cuticle and through lenticels. You already know stomata are minute pores present on the epidermis of the leaves and young stems. Cuticle is a waxy layer or covering of leaf and stem epidermis, and lenticels are the tiny pores present on the bark of trees or in older stems. Transpiration plays an important role in the proper functioning of the plant. It includes the following. First one, it gives cooling effect to the plant. Second one, it helps in ascent of sap. Third one, it helps in the distribution of minerals throughout the plant body. It also contributes to the water cycle. The factors which affect the rate of transpiration are temperature, wind, sunlight, humidity, and soil water. When temperature, wind, and sunlight increases, the rate of transpiration also increases. But when humidity increases, the rate of transpiration decreases because the atmosphere is already saturated with water. Same way, lower the amount of water in the soil, slower will be the rate of transpiration. With this, we come to an end of our today's session. Thank you.